Hey everyone, Eric here. So I've been planning on doing it. I bought some supplies. I put a picture up on Instagram. Been watching a lot of videos lately on dioramas and different techniques and stuff like that. So this is kind of what my shelf looks like now. Is basically a graphic from the cartoon on a piece of foam core. I want to do something else. I want to get creative. So on this shelf, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure out. I've got some foam. I got some paint, some brushes, some cutting materials, T-square, different things like that. So I'm gonna try some different techniques and try to make basically a diorama for my Legends class figures on this shelf. So what I'm gonna do is measure this shelf here. We'll know where the base is. We'll measure the height. We'll know where to make the back walls and side walls, and we'll go from there. So this is just the beginning, the first part, and we'll just cut in between showing some different things. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I kind of went to a better space. I would do this in the garage, but I just don't have it cleaned off in yet. So we know 22.5 is basically where we want it to go to. It looks like on foam you can use a Sharpie pretty good. So we're gonna mark just a little spot here on this. I'm gonna go up here a little bit more. And this isn't, look, if you're looking for professional diorama, it's not gonna be me. So I'm just marking that. And then let's just figure out, I think I said 11.25. I hope that's right. But what we'll do is measure up here, 11.25. That's an eyeball. So I might have to trim a little bit of this out or whatever, but that's fine. So we're gonna use our square here. Kind of line these up. Like I said, this is eyeball in it. Really, I should do it the other way, shouldn't I? Make sure this is, yeah, so it's a little, this foam is not exactly perfect either, so let's just line up by the markings and just go from there. If we have to trim something out, we'll trim it out, you know? Yeah, that's not super straight, and you can see that. See that? But that should be more. See, what I should have done is probably measured over exactly. And that's fine. We can restart that. See, this is going to be trial and error. Let's go back and try it a different way. All right, so what I'm doing now is I've got my measurement sort of lined up. And this is not going to be perfect because the foam is not perfectly cut. It's not super flat surface. So I'm just using my blade here to go down and trim out the foam. And this is pretty thick foam, so it's going to take a little bit to get completely through it. Yeah, see, it's like halfway. But I've got the measurements lined up now. So this is one side of it. So just keep my square on it. And hopefully I get through and I don't cut through into the carpet. Now you can use a hot wire, I think, and that's probably better for cutting this type of foam. But we're doing this is a learning process, like a lot of learning. So it's almost through. So probably one more. And I've seen people go through this in like 3 strikes, you know. But for me, being a total noob, and I'm gonna play that a little bit more, hold it at an angle. It's that's right there at it. So we're gonna go out and get this corner piece here, and this is also something I can turn around and use. If I want to add a layer or something, or, you know. Let's see if this is going to go. Still, you can see on here that it's cut almost all the way through. Yeah, this is a learning process, like just from what I've seen, and this may be totally terrible, I don't know, but it's me just trying to figure out stuff just from watching videos. So, all right, so got it about where I want it, right there. And this piece here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna come back and hopefully I've got it apart. Okay, so we got this cut out now. So, and what I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna take some spackling and kind of smooth out these edges. So now we're gonna go for a cut across. So, see how that's gonna go. And what we're gonna do is do the same thing, measuring process. Come back. Now I'm just going through and measuring off 11 1/4 in increments here across through the foam. And I'm just doing that because I hope the foam is sort of close in being square, and it may not, and may have to do some trimming and some stuff like that. But let's hope for the good, okay? So, like I said, totally don't know what in the world I'm doing here, but we're gonna give it a shot. And I'm using a Sharpie just because, like, a pencil will, I'm just doing a little light mark. A pencil will really mess this up. I think I went too far on cutting the foam here. That's interesting. Well, all right, so this should be the bottom floor of a shelf. We're going to see how this works out. So we'll start cutting and come back. All right, so here's our square cut. Hopefully everything works out right. So it may be a little trimming, a little sanding needs to be done. We'll figure it out. Here we go. So here it is, right in section. So I had to trim a little bit on the side here, just a hair. And I think that's just because the inconsistency of the foam. So it wasn't really that big a deal. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to proceed with doing the back, and I'll do the sides. And then we'll start the floor line. So I'm going to do a grid. This, I think, is going to be, the idea I have for this one is to be like inside the arc for New Age. So I'm going to have that set that comes with like the computer, Teletran 1, and a table, and I'm going to make the floors and walls and stuff like that. So that's the plan. But this is, so far, we're going pretty good. So let's keep going. All right, so here's the cuts. Got it in the shelf. There's a gap here, but that'll be covered up because what I'm gonna basically have is like a platform here in front of it, with like a step. I figure the art computer will go over here, the med table, some different stuff. Gotta figure out the walls here to enclose that as well. And then we should be getting going. I think next step I'm gonna do is do some grid lines on the floor, and then I'm gonna proceed with trying to maybe paint it. We'll see. All right, so what I did is I laid out a grid line. This is kind of like an entrance door with a just kind of geometric shape here. It's not perfect or anything like that. It doesn't have to be, because there's gonna be other things here. And I kind of did a walkway. What I did is I took a square, took a knife, went down the edge, just let a little bit of the blade out on here, just enough to go down it. And then after I did my grid lines, I took a pencil and traced over the grid lines to make the lines darker. So that's where we're at with that. So let's go to the next step. On a Sunday midday, so got the floor platform laid out on the foam, and I started doing a coat of paint here. So this is just first coat. I think I'm gonna do another coat. It doesn't have to be super perfect because the floor of the arc is all weathered and everything. So it's just the beginning. I've got it's gonna have a doorway here. Then I'm gonna do a wash, try to make these lines show up a little bit better. But this is just the beginning, so not too bad for about an hour and a half worth of work. Maybe not even that. So stay tuned for more. This is just the first one. I've got one plan I want to do for the Decepticons, maybe Nemesis, and we'll go from there. All right, thanks guys.